Hi sweeties! Today we are making salmon patties. Look at that. Salmon patties, salmon cakes, salmon croquettes. I don't care what you call them. Just make them and then call me for dinner. I will share my recipe with you. And remember that roasted salmon we did in the oven the other day? Well, the leftovers became these salmon patties. It's so good. I'll show you how I did it. Let's jump into it. Saute some peppers and onions. Finely diced peppers and onions, I should say. You don't want big chunks. They will shrink down as the moisture cooks off. But you don't want big chunks of onions and peppers because that will keep your salmon cakes from holding together. This is about a half cup diced onion and half cup diced pepper. Season the peppers and onions with just a touch of salt, about a half teaspoon, and that's going to help release some of the moisture too. Those onions and peppers have gotten nicely cooled. Scrape them into a bowl, large enough so that you can use it to mix the whole thing later. Let these cool down to room temperature, and then you can proceed. So now that our peppers and onions have cooled, we've put them in a bowl with that leftover salmon, and I'll put the link to the recipe so you can know how to make the oven roasted salmon with the crispy skin. But we've taken the skin off of the leftovers. We've got our sauteed onions and peppers in there, and you can just break up the salmon a bit. We already checked the fillets before cooking to make sure it doesn't have any bones, but we want to get the salmon pretty fine. Then we'll add in, some beaten egg, some fresh chopped scallion. I like for the scallion to be raw when it goes into the mixture because it gives a nice bite. And then a little bit of mayonnaise. I'll put a link to a printable recipe for this in the description box so you can have all the amounts. And then just mix it up. So we're going to make some cracker crumbs, and we're using some club crackers just in a Ziploc bag. You just take a rolling pin and roll it over the crackers, and it breaks it into fine crumbs. You can use a food processor if you want, but I think this is just as easy and actually more fun. Okay. Then add your breadcrumbs into the mixture. And now you notice I didn't add any additional salt or seasonings yet because the salmon was already seasoned. The cracker crumbs have salt on it. So we're going to mix this up, and then we're going to cook a little test patty and see how salty it is, if it needs more seasoning or not. Now I'm going to take this scoop to form patties, and this helps to ensure that your patties are nice and even. Look at that. It makes the process go much quicker. Okay, you can stop. And if you want a crispy crust, I mean, this step is optional. I don't always do this, but you can put some crushed cracker crumbs on the top and the bottom of the patties, and that way it'll be nice and crunchy on the outside. Just pat them in. And gently place your salmon cakes in some hot oil. We're going to let them fry for just a few minutes on each side. Lay the salmon cakes away from you so you don't splash the oil onto yourself. Then you're going to gently turn it. Oh, look at that pretty golden brown color. That's nice. And just like that, our salmon patties are done. We're going to take these out and drain them on a wire rack. And we have a few more to do. I made a double batch so that we'd have some for dinner and then some for breakfast tomorrow. So it's going to take me a minute to cook them all. So I'll just park these in a warm oven while we're finishing the rest. Look, they're taking the salmon cakes before I even finish filming the video. I see you. Don't try to sneak. That's it, sweeties. Look at that. Our finished salmon cakes served with some grits and greens, a little poached egg. This is great for breakfast, great for lunch. I'm going to have it for dinner. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you have not already and give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and have a delicious day.